Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Clouds and very nice to meet you. I was a student not long ago and I always wondered what kind of careers or what kind of companies would offer me the best graduate salary as someone who's just entering the employment world for the first time. So today I thought I would do a little bit of a search and find out what the highest paying graduate jobs are specifically in the UK and share with you guys my reaction and also the results that we find out. So if you guys are students as well and you're interested in knowing what kind of careers out there offer me the best compensation, what companies offer the best salaries for graduates, especially just like entry-level straight out of uni graduates, and yeah, if you're curious about those things, then stick along and we can find out together. Before I start this video, I do want to caveat that obviously salary is not the most important thing when joining the workforce. Everyone knows that there's specific careers out there that pay you better than other careers. I do recommend you guys to just have a think about what your priorities are in life before jumping the gun on like a career that pays you very well but you're not actually that happy on. But with that being said, money is very important. I don't think it's something that we should be discounting and should be pretending like money isn't important. Money is important. So let's go through a couple of different sources, go through a couple of different websites and figure out what the top 10 best graduate paying jobs are out there. Before I go into my reactions and into the lists, I do want to nudge you guys a little bit just to like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this kind of content. I do film a lot of uni content, career content, consulting content. Comment down below if there's anything else you guys would like to see around these topics, and please do subscribe if you can. It would really make my day. So I've got my laptop here. First website that we're on is milkround.com. Milkround is quite a popular job searching website for students in the UK, specifically internships, placements, graduate jobs, etc. So they have a list that was posted on January 2021, so about a year ago, and it's titled "What are the highest paid graduate jobs in the UK?" So let's go through this and find out. Okay, so number one, we've got investment banker, and it's $35,000 to $60,000. Not dollars, pounds, sorry. And I have a lot of friends who went to business school with me and ended up being bankers. I feel like in business school there's only really two career paths, either banking or consulting, and $35,000 to $60,000 sounds about accurate. Let's see what they say. So they say the work is hard and the hours are long, but you can make a lot of money. That is true. That is completely true. Hearing from my friends that work in investment banking, they work 14-hour days sometimes. I hear things about like 90-hour weeks, 100-hour weeks, so it's very, very tiring. However, it does pay you well, £60,000. Also, I do know that £60,000, when they say they pay £60,000, that's base salary, and banking is notoriously known for having really good bonus packages. Usually in investment banks, if you work after 9 p.m, which usually you always end up working after 9 p.m, they pay for your food, so you really don't have that many costs. They also pay for your transport to, you know, go back home in an Uber. You end up not really spending that much money. You just have to spend money on rent because all you do is sleep, and then the next day you're back into the office again. So yeah, that amount of money is very, very good. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So if we continue scrolling, number two is apparently management consultants, which is $45,000 to $50,000. It's funny because it says the UK's main consulting firms are KPMG, Deloitte, Accenture, PwC, and McKinsey. I work for one of those companies, and so yeah, apparently management consultants is the second highest paying job role for graduates in the UK. Your career will take you from business analyst or associate to junior, senior consultant, and on to manager, principal, and partner. That is accurate. Also interesting that they put KPMG, Deloitte, Accenture, PwC, and McKinsey, but they didn't put the rest of the MBBs, which usually pay a lot better than the Big Four. And out of all Big Four, they excluded EY, which has EY Parthenon, which is one of the highest paying strategy houses in the market. It's interesting that they put KPMG in that list as well, not to throw shade, but I feel like out of the Big Four, they're definitely the lowest ranking ones in terms of consulting. But yeah, interesting to see the list. And they also say watch out for new players like Newton. Yes, there are boutique consultancies out there that pay really well. It's not like some boutique consultancies pay a lot better than the typical Big Four, so definitely look out for boutiques out there. Okay, so number three, trainee solicitor, $26,500 to $50,000. That is a really wide range. If I'm making $26,500, that's completely different from making $50,000. It's almost double. So yeah, I don't know why that range is so big. I don't come from a law background, so I don't know too much about law firms, but I do know that their training contracts can pay a lot, and sometimes even better than management consulting. Actually, a lot of times even probably better than management consulting. Okay, so trainee salaries in the legal sector depend on location. In Wales, the average is 18,000, but in the City of London, it's 35,800. That sounds about right. Okay, let's move on. The fourth one in this list is graduate sales manager, retail, and it's 37,000 to 44,000. And I'm starting to notice that this is not in order because that is clearly higher than the trainee solicitor. I think this is just like a random order. Okay, so budget retail chains are stepping up expansion in the UK and need more graduates. I do remember when I was applying for roles, seeing roles from like Lidl and Aldi, and they were paying like 40k, so really good salary. And I remember they give you like an Audi as well, or like they give you a car. I might be wrong with that, but I remember seeing like a graduate scheme from either Lidl or Aldi that gave you a car. But I feel like the catch here is that you usually need to move out of London, and that's why they give you a car, because you're usually in a more remote area. But this is for like graduate sales manager. If you're interested in logistics or operations, anything like that, sales, then this might be a really good path for you and really good compensation. Next, we have software developer. Not surprised, of course. I always suggest for people to go into computer science nowadays, and even my own little sister, she was wondering what she should study, and one thing I kept on mentioning was software engineering is really good. I feel like computer science is a course that you really can't go wrong with, and software engineers make bank, and they have such good work-life balance compared to investment bankers and consultants. And here the range is 31,500 to 45,000 pounds, so pretty good, very good range. Next, we have graduate petroleum engineer, 33,000 to 43,000. Again, very good salary. Engineers in the oil and gas industry have always been highly paid. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. They usually have to leave home for a bit and they work in hot, dry, harsh climates, which is why they get paid well. Then we have actuary, which is 31,000 to 35,000. I'm not completely sure what people do in actuary, but I think there's like some kind of accounting involved. I do think that people, if I'm not mistaken, usually get qualified in actuary. And I also know that it's something related to risk. I might be sounding very silly right now, but I don't exactly know what they do, but they're on the top 10 list of highest paying graduate jobs, so probably a good career to consider. Okay, so next we have civil servants and civil engineer. Civil servant at 27,000 to 32,000, and then civil engineer from 24,000 to 31,000. So now we're starting to get more into the 20s in scale of pay. And then we have clinical scientists from 29,000 to 30,000 pounds a year. Companies that hire for this kind of role are companies in the pharmaceuticals industry. So we have GSK, which is probably the biggest pharmaceutical company out there, and AstraZeneca, which obviously we all know because of the pandemic. But yeah, it seems like they employ quite a lot of people. Alright, so that's the top 10 highest paying graduate jobs according to Milground. Let's go on to another source right now. So we have targetjobs.co.uk, which I also think is one of the larger job search platforms out there, especially in the UK. And they also have a list of which graduate careers offer the best pay. So let's see if it coincides with the list on Milground, and let's see if there's kind of like overarching themes. Highest paying starting salaries for graduate jobs are typically with law firms. The annual salary survey carried out by the Institute of Student Employers, published in November 2021, put law firms ahead of all other career sectors covered. Interesting, because in the other article it was investment banking at the top, and in this one it says law firms are actually the highest paying industry for graduates. Wow, okay, let's continue looking. So number one, we have legal, which is 42k. Then we have finance and professional services. That is such a wide umbrella term. Professional service includes anything from like banking, even law, consulting. So I would like to know exactly what they mean by professional services, but the average there is 32,850. Then we have digital and IT, 31,750. A lot of people doing more data nowadays, definitely a pretty popular career path. Number four, we have health and pharmaceuticals, which coincides with the previous list. We had Clinical sciences there, and health and pharmaceuticals is probably something very similar, £29,500. Then we have energy, engineering, and industry, which again was also in the other list. And here it says it's £28,000 a year for this industry. Then we have built environment, which I'm not sure what that means. Also, can you hear my laptop taking off? I can't really fix it. Then we have retail and FMCG, which is also £28,000 a year. That's interesting because I remember when we were covering Aldi and Lidl in the other list, it was around the 40k range, and 28k is obviously very different, but it's in the list of the top 10. After retail and FMCG, we have charity and public sector. Interesting, that was not a sector in the other websites. So apparently it pays you around 25,996, essentially £26,000 a year. And that's it. That's the list of top 10. Interesting. There's a couple of differences. Legal being at the top is one of the differences, but I'm not really surprised. Legal does pay very well. So does investment banking. So I could imagine the two basically going back and forth in terms of the rankings. And public sector charity is a new one that's on this list that wasn't on the previous list. So yeah, if you guys are students and you're watching this video and you're thinking, which industry is going to pay me the most amount of money? Where can I get my bag? Investment banking and law look like the best two options out there for money. Also, retail, if you're interested in working at Aldi or Lidl or any of these other FMCG companies that offer retail graduate schemes, those look like good options if you want to make around £40,000 a year. As an entry level, straight into the job market, straight out of uni, that's a pretty good compensation package. Hopefully that was an interesting video for you guys. I feel like it kind of aligns a little bit to what I thought was going to be the list. Not too many surprises in there. I feel like how good Aldi pays, even though I knew about it, it didn't register really in my head. But now that I look at these lists, I'm like, damn, they actually pay so well. So maybe that was one of the things that was really interesting to me. But everything else, you know, banking, law, seems like it makes sense. Let me know if there's any other kind of lists you guys want me to react to. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.